reason, they left in the middle of a forest with absolutely no reception. I find that just appalling.
That's so
Uh,
badly planned.
it is poorly planned on behalf of the Fuhrer. And so we took a little drive. We are no longer in Belgium, which we were before. Now we are officially in France by a few miles. And when I say we, you all know the one and only Mr. Cook. And what we found was a
I
star fort. And we haven't seen it. We don't know it. Well, we know a little bit about it, including the fact that it took part in the 30-year war. But since we all love star forts, and it's a gorgeous day here, and I wanted to give a chance to say hi to everybody and give you guys a chance to ask any weird questions that you may have had since we haven't been on for a while. These are leading up on top of the ramparts. I'm guessing powder magazines down here
Yep.
and here. Let's go for a walk up because the ditch out here is just phenomenal.
And that is the arsenal with all the cannons and all the cannonballs and all the powder. And that will contain an awful lot of stuff, a lot of material.
This is the arsenal, isn't it?
Arsenal. It's
It's a
gigantic.
beautiful building, and there's a beautiful church over there. We'll go for a walk into town afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go up on the rampart and see. But this is when was this was built? When was
About
this?
1640.
1640ish, yeah.
By Vauban.
By Vauban. All right, now I'll just let you take the lead on this star fort because, and they have a festival in town, which is really nice.
Yeah. And a football match going on.
They have a football match going on, so
And the pizzas are delicious. Just to make you all jealous.
so just for that sake, we looks like my house in Spain. Well, I mean, this is gorgeous. This is what it looks like here in these small villages in France, Belgium, Holland. It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
But just wait until you see the ditch, which, if I point my camera away from the sun, which I apparently can't do. So, what do we get? This would be one of the cannon positions.
Yeah.
And that's ventilation up there.
This is my powder magazine.
Now we all know, yeah, the powder magazine for this bastion is here.
Yes.
And we're looking at, well, pre-Napoleonic era guns before.
But
Yeah.
the inhabited buildings, the big problem here is they're right up close behind the ramparts. So you have to have long-range guns to keep the enemy away, to stop them bombarding your homes, or the garrison's homes and the local inhabitants' homes in the town centre. And that's the real big problem, because as cannons improved, you had to keep people further away from the town centre. You couldn't be this close.
And you had the bombard, you had what turned into a mortar type shell that would lob over the bastion's ramparts, and you
Yeah.
tried to move them further and further away. And let's see if we get up on one of these, because there was, and I don't know, Jeffrey, I don't know if you're here. Um, the in front of a bastion, if you put a little defended, I'm going to say island, but there doesn't need to be water involved. I cannot for the life of me remember what that position is called. It's a little pixelated. Well, at least we have reception. The guns, Roger, that's your department. The guns in the 16th and 17th century, the cannons here, what would have been here?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, we're in France, so everything is different. But I mean, you're talking about, I don't know, 24, 32 pounders, very similar to naval guns. When a friend of mine recreated the cannon from the Mary Rose, he created a breech loader which fired stone shells, no, sorry, stone projectiles. And he also created a bronze cannon. And when they took it to the naval proving ground, they fired it out to sea. And they couldn't see where the ball landed. It just went so far, and they were amazed. The power of these early cannons. They're very impressive.
I mean, they were ship cannons.
Same
60s.
kind, the same type
So
of
we're
cannon.
looking at 5 miles bouncing. No, we're not. We're not. Now I'm.
Oh, not that far.
Well, first we have to. I wish I
Just
could get you a
below.
better answer on this one, but first I guess we have to find out exactly what kind of ordinance was placed here. And but
It was written on the arsenal downstairs as we walked past,
oh
but I
well,
didn't notice.
I just wanted to join in with everybody and show you. Ooh, look at this. This is a very tall rampart. This is a very tall bastion, and there's the powder magazine, and the cannon would probably be in over there. There's quite a bit of tunnels in this place, and there's a gate that's open. We all know what happens when I go inside open tunnels, don't we? then then we lose reception. All right, this is not the platform. This is the
Yeah,
platform for
that's
the
part of the
actual cannon.
platform. Yeah.
All right, so this is the platform, and you guys are going to get a kick out of. Well, we're trying to debate what the range of these guns actually were, because you're looking at old ship cannons from the 16th and 17th century. So somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 yards, and I'm just throwing that out there because I honestly don't know the specs on what was here. I'm just looking for my way up on this thing.
The over on the left, I think, perhaps.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make my way through the hay. Here we go. Oh, and here's the ditch. And if you hear sudden screaming, it will be me plummeting to my death. So they have a little. All right, so this is part of the ditch, and there is a smaller ditch on the outside, and that's not helping with the sun. So I'm gonna go over here to run. Ooh, look at the landscape.
And we've hit on the meaning of the diamond ditch, which was always a mystery to me, because when you have a Serre de Rivière fortification, in front of the embrasures, they dig a ditch so that when projectiles hit above the embrasure, the debris, the stone, the concrete doesn't fall down and block the embrasure, it falls into a ditch, and you keep on firing from the inside of the fortress. I've always wondered why they called it a diamond ditch, because it has no resemblance at all to a diamond. They kept on building them in the Maginot fortifications for the same reason, in front of the embrasures, to let the debris fall down in the ditch, to keep on firing. And suddenly, yesterday, one of our fantastic guides in this other beautiful fortress that we wandered around for hour after hour, he suggested the reason to me. It's that when you have a ditch that surrounds a bastion, it's shaped like a diamond. The bastion from above is a diamond shape, and the ditch followed around in a diamond shape. So it's the diamond ditch. Even then, when they made them straight, they kept the same term.
And what we saw yesterday, when I get to show you that, you will see things you have never seen before. They were hiding a few, well, once the last one left functioning in the world in that what we saw yesterday.
The 40 millimeter 5-barreled Hotchkiss revolver cannon, and we actually made it. Well, we turned the breech mechanism.
They wouldn't give us any ammo. I don't know why.
No, I
But
could have broke some from my house.
they had
Careful where the grass ends. You don't know.
well, where the grass ends, you'll find out, because all of a sudden the top of me will disappear. So this is the ditch. But what is really interesting about the Star Forts, and what I really wanted to show you for no particular reason except that we're here and it's gorgeous, is that the Star Fort at the Maginot Line Fort was the same thing. A lot of the Maginot Line forts, well, they were small Star Forts. You see the same designs. You see the diamond ditch. You see the ditch surrounding it. You see the powder magazines, especially when it's World War One forts, not Maginot Line forts, but when the World War One forts, they were small Star Forts. They had all the same layout: the
Well,
powder
yeah,
magazines, the cannons on the ramparts.
the Maginot Forts, they called them palm, because you come in at the entrance, way behind the fortification, and you go down 30 meters in the lift with perhaps an ammunition wagon, and then you take the tunnel to the fighting positions, and they are palmed. You go off in different tunnels to each separate fighting position.
But
Yeah.
when you then have a World War I fort, it is pretty much the same as a star fort. You have a central entrance,
Yeah.
and sometimes that covers all the way through into a barrack area, caserne.
Mm-hmm.
You have the fighting around the ramparts.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have diamonds sticking out in different points, which I'm all going to show you all this during the year, which is going to be awesome.
What we
Uh,
saw yesterday was just amazing.
yeah, that really was something.
The last, probably the last ever in the world fortified village. Certainly the last in France. I would say definitely the last in Europe, and possibly the last one in the whole world ever built as a fortified village.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's asking where we actually are right now.
Yes, we're in Rocroi.
And it's the Star Fort, or those fortified village again.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
Star Fort is a fortified
yeah,
village,
yeah,
and we happened to come with this. I wanted to jump onto from one of Hitler's headquarters from 1940,
yeah.
but the reception gods did not like that general idea, so I just couldn't get on. And since we're here stalking history in the countryside,
Uh,
we wanted to take you to the Star Fort, just give you guys a chance to say hi, and I guess you go down and over and see what happens down this road here. Well, either that, or you'll all watch me plummet down the. That is a hell of a ditch,
oh yeah,
son of a ditch.
yeah. And it's very deep and very wide. It's a killing ground.
It is, isn't it?
You've got to throw yourself down or climb down into it, and you have to run over a huge open space with everybody on the rampart shooting at you. And it's almost impossible.
So,
It's so well designed by Monsieur Vauban.
Monsieur Vauban,
Yeah,
I'm afraid to take you through tunnels. There are, of course, tunnels inside all these ramparts and underneath us, but if you go in there, well, you know how reception does not always work in our favor. But I'm guessing we have a powder magazine here next to the platform where the gun would
yeah.
have been, because we have several platforms there and there.
It's the same style as the later Hacksaw magazine, which will be on the top of the rampart. Hacksaw magazine from about 1840, but this is 1640.
1640.
And of course, if it works, you keep going. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You haven't missed anything. We just jumped on live because we're visiting this really cool Star Fort in France, and I wanted to take you all for a walk and get a chance for you guys to say hi to Roger, because, well, tomorrow it's onwards to, I have no idea. I haven't planned that far ahead. Uh, but this is going to be an interesting year. Um, yeah, you're. This is just us going through a Star Fort, taking you with us. So you didn't. The world will not end. And here's the village inside. This is bigger than Bourtage. I wonder how big this is.
Wow.
This was built around 1640, and it did take part in the 30-year war. And most of the buildings are, well, there's a nice kitchen in there. I see some pots and pans hanging.
Yes.
Well, people live in here. It's absolutely awesome. No idea what the real estate prices was. Shall we follow the rampart over? This looks pretty straight. Oh, this looks pretty straight. Can't see much. Well, this is pretty flat. I promise if there'll be any falling, it'll be done by me. That's. Oh, when we get close to one of the rocks, we'll actually ask you guys what what kind of stone this is, because we.
It's very tough. The stone. Yeah. Very resistant.
It does. It's we can't quite figure out what this was. So I think there's going to be a staircase down here, and
Staircase is a ramp.
well, there's a. I'm just trying to keep your morale up, though.
My morale up. Okay. And
Well,
the steeper it is, the faster we slide down on our backsides.
well, there are teenagers living in this village, and they're gonna run up here and have a roll in the hay. So chances are, if I go up here, I will not die on the other side. We're just walking. We're walking around the star here. Um, I know everybody want to see what's up here, and they want to see me fall down this wet grass. You guys can just keep going, but you all want to see. They'll straight into the sun. Oh wow! Oh wow! Well, there's a tree. All right, bad timing. So that's part of the ditch, and here's the sun. Oh wow! Oh, look at this. See, here's the walkway. And you see, just like any other star fort, there are roads leading into the center of the town, where the church is, traditionally. We haven't even seen the church yet. I'll meet you on the other side of what I'm assuming is a powder magazine. Oh, look at this. This is really large. Such a killing field. I'm sorry about the sun, guys. It just happened to be here. Here!
You know, we've got a number on the 112 button, ready to press it when you disappear.
Oh, good, good, good. Well, I mean, it is live, so you can always just reverse and just... But it's always me fall down when from different multiple angles. Huh. There's enough grass here I can hang on to. Ow, son of a bitch. All right, what the hell is this? What am I on? What am I walking on? Is this a powder magazine? Roger, what am I on top of? Powder magazine, outstanding. Oh, the view is gorgeous up here. Oh, and I know it's a powder magazine because here's the ventilation with a hole that is right here where my foot is. God, I'm an idiot. All right, fine, that's cement. Here, that's the ventilation. That's no longer covered. But look at the ditch. Such an amazing structure this is. And I gotta tell you, today, I spent a lot of time going through one of the headquarters that was built for Hitler. And it is in France. And I thought this was going to be a quick go through. Turns out that they built 900 buildings, 75 heavily reinforced buildings, and I have no idea how many bunkers. So it's a place. Where? How the hell do I get down from here? Son of a donkey. All right, I hope you're enjoying this because, oh, I'm standing on the hole again. I have these really cool combat boots in the car with like super traction, can fly in them and shit. And I'm wearing my no. Ow, damn, there's something spiky in this. Yes, I'm an idiot, but I'm just, I'm winging it. I hope you're entertained. I'm going to try to make it down here. And remembering what type of fall I would take off a rampart, because I think I did some martial arts in my day, and I don't remember the class of frontal falls of ramparts, but I think some sort of a... Here's the path. Yay! All right. See, I didn't get to die on camera today. All right, here's the other side of the powder magazine. All right. Well, there's all these stinging, bitey thingy. Let's see how far I can get. If you guys start to lose me. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I thought I could make it. Just stick my head inside the powder magazine. I thought I could do it without losing reception. I tried, but at least we're moving on. All right, I'm back. You guys still there? It says I'm live. Roger's looking at me as if I'm alive.
We found here easy way. All right, no.
The easy way.
The way down is the fall, but the more difficult way is there's a ramp here,
Ah,
a stone-edged ramp, and that's what they used when they kept the cannons in the arsenal. If an enemy threatened, they would bring them up here and drag them up the ramp. 50 men would put a cannon up the ramp,
All
put
right.
it onto the ramparts.
No, we're in France, next to the Belgian border.
Yeah, just south.
All right. Okay. So
This, in Vauban's terms, this is the pré carré, the fighting ground, where the French would fight to keep any enemy from you know getting onto their territory. So we better go down the ramp, I think, because around there it's all fenced in.
it is, and there's a lot of sun. Really good imagery. I hope someone's taking screenshots of this because, for my obituary when I stumble down these things, I would like nice pictures. Obviously not of myself, but of beautiful scenic tours, places.
Oh, Tino,
Yes, dear.
all the roads, the fact is the star is that all the roads lead to the town center,
Yeah.
where if there was an enemy attack, the garrison would hide out there, ready to rush to any of the threatened corners of the fort.
I think we should go to the center of this fort and see what's in there. Because shooting straight up against the sun just seems like a bad idea. All right, let's go take a look at the center of town. I don't hear music from the other side. And believe it or not, but when this fort was built, this car was. Oh, that's not nice.
That's cool. We did see a car full of flowers.
Somebody turned a 2CV Citroen into a flower pot. But we see some interesting things. All right, this part seems to have been a little bit renovated. Actually, honestly, should have taken the other side. But the other side is there's a little party going on, town party, which is it really would be cool to live here in the Star Fort.
Yes.
I like that idea, and it's actually looks nice and new. And we are what, like a couple of 2-3 kilometers from the Belgian border?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened here in World War II that I'm aware of because nothing here was.
One of the star forts on the coast, the north coast of France. I can't remember without checking which one it was. Actually held off the German panzers because it had moats around it, and the panzers just couldn't get in. They had to dive bomb the defenses before the French surrendered.
That must have been Holland
What? No, in France,
and France.
northern France.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't the French like Belgium tourists shoot them? Well, yes, everybody at some point in time had been shooting at everybody else around here. That's interesting.
In 1940.
1940.
During the Blitzkrieg, the Germans thought they would take one of these old fortified towns, and
Hey, guys.
because it was surrounded by water, they couldn't get in.
And yes, Rogers Welch.
It comes over electronically. Yes, it accentuates my accent.
There's a comment on your heritage here.
Ah,
You look at the stones of these. This is one of the original buildings, no matter what you did with it. And then probably some sort of enhancements later on. Yes, you know what I show the very nice guy. We just had breakfast like 4 minutes ago, despite it being like 7 o'clock in the evening, at a little pizza place, and he actually said, "Oh, it's so nice to have you here." Wondered like, where do you get this idea from? Usually people don't say that about me. Oh, so this is the town square. Oh, this is gorgeous. So I'm guessing from the flags, this is where the mayor lives. We've been meeting a few mayors here lately in some of these small towns that I will be telling you a lot more about over this year.
Square, the covered market.
Doesn't it look like there's something missing? A statue, a spiky thing,
Oh,
a obelisk, something. Something's missing there. But this is gorgeous. Surely this is not from 1640.
could be.
You think?
Why not?
I don't know. It just. Normally I would find a date of construction on some of these buildings. I'm not seeing any. Well, now you know it's 8:45 here.
All built from the ground up.
Yeah.
It wasn't a fortified town like our fortified village, where the fortifications had to be built around an existing village. They started this from scratch,
Yes.
and they built the town and the fortifications around it at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't see why that shouldn't be an
I don't just
original.
it's just I'm thinking 17, 1800s, but
Yeah, it looks quite modern, doesn't it?
it has a little bit of a different design to it. And look at the crest. Look at the crest up there. Probably might be hard for you guys to see here. Is that three inverted half circles?
There are three C's. Yeah.
Isn't that what's the toxic?
Coco Charlene Chanel? I don't know.
Oh,
I'm thinking, well, isn't that the sign for toxic waste? The three
in
circles.
the triangle.
The
Oh,
three,
that's true.
the three have. Oh, sorry.
Well, let's put it this way. In the 1640s, if you attacked this place, you got into toxic problems. Like you didn't make it past. Oh, look, there's an old. Look at the narrow building there. That's
Oh, that's gorgeous. Well, unfortunately, we can go in here. I don't know why there's a fence here. This is the kind of fence I like, the ones who can't keep me out. Um, oh, and here's actually they're of course remodeling, reconstructing. But one of the things with this Star Forts was of course plumbing, bathroom, water, sewage is always a thing. Star forts were built for a siege, so you have to make sure that your sewage would run somewhere, and there's no water in the ditches outside. So I'm assuming that there's some sort of a sewage system and some sort of a ground well.
Look, there's an overhead plan of the town there.
I thought about that. Since since it's live, I can't really insert things. Well, I probably can, but since I'm a notorious moron, I have no idea how to. But we'll get onto that later. Oh wow! Holy shit! This is gorgeous from. All right, so this is what this thing looks like from above. All right, let me see if I can zoom in on that. Oh, well, okay, that was a little too far. This is where we are. In the center, right there.
And this is a small one.
This is a small one.
Yeah, there are some which are perhaps 4 or 5 times bigger. Built by Vauban. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad I can actually show you guys sort of where we are. Well, if I zoom much more, you're gonna get into this sort of thing.
People's bedrooms and bathrooms. And the market. Yeah, the marketplace. Covered marketplace, they call it there. That's lovely.
I'm just thinking that they're probably. It looks like there's something should be on top of this. It's probably a fountain. It's got to be a fountain that's not running. And the church. Nice yellow stone. It looks a little bit like the stone from Metz, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think we are over here. Or down there. Oh, we got to look at this building. This looks like one of the old original streets down there. I mean, I guess the Pentagon, it resembles a star fort. I mean, if you stick bastions outside the Pentagon, it would be a star fort, or it could be a star fort. Somebody.
Yeah.
Are these guys Protestants or Catholics?
Catholics.
Catholics. 1640 France, they would be Catholics.
Yes.
Yes.
The war of religions, which the Protestants won. And the King Henry IV, the Protestant hero, the King of Navarre, he won the war and then converted to Catholicism to actually bring the two sides together. So what happened? A mad monk came along and murdered him in his carriage in the middle of Paris. And all hell broke out again. Religious warfare started all over again.
And it never ended, I guess. I'm guessing this half roof here has, I don't know. This is a cool building. This is very neat.
My bank, the Case de Bank.
A very ornate too. But I'm looking at this building, Roger.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the one over here that looks like it's the city hall.
Yeah.
It's this different design, isn't it?
Yeah, that's much earlier, and this one, look, has got RF, République Française. So that would be
Ooh.
after, what, 1871?
Still have a bit of the Gothic style in it. So they did do some. Well, so it also looks like there could have been buildings next to it because these look like.
Well, it looks like it's meant to continue off to the left, but it doesn't.
Yeah, the buildings. Yeah, yeah. It looks like there's a half a building missing here. But it's a gorgeous building. I mean, I always wanted a corner apartment somewhere. I mean, a corner apartment.
The triangular room.
A triangle. Well, I lived in a circular room. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find paintings to put on the walls for a circular room?
Yes, I can imagine.
I'm good with this.
Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby paintings. That's exactly it. You just get a bunch of sticky tape and then just roll it around. But this is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, and the name of the builder is on it, Ladybirth.
Is there a year?
No date.
I'm guessing this was built at a time after it needed defending.
Yes, because the roof is too high.
The roof, yeah.
That would be the only roof to be hit by all the shells, the enemy shells.
Yeah, because this roof you can actually see from the outside of the ramparts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over here so I don't run into these poor people. Oh, we're down by the restaurant. Sorry, it's a star fort. You walk around long enough, eventually. Then we get down to the stone here. Yes, we will now all ask you in a minute about a particular type of stone because none of us on the shutters. Anywhere you go in France, you'll see shutters. Small towns, big towns, mess everywhere. There's going to be shutters. Yes, dear. You're pointing at things. Ooh. Well, if I must.
I look at the stones to protect the corners against.
I'm in the tunnel. I if I can't see the sky. All right. Are you still with me? You're still with me. I love these. And then somebody put a wooden building on top of it. This is so cozy. Is this sloping outwards?
Yeah, several of the buildings do slope outwards.
I don't feel comfortable unless heavy things dangle over my head. Apparently. I keep thinking I should have a sword of Damocles hanging over my bed just for the sake of excitement.
How do you get a car into this garage? That was quite a feat.
Well, you've seen some of the very, very small cars around here. There's some very, very, very small cars here in Europe.
In sideways.
Sideways. I'll somewhere on my Instagram later. I'll post some of the pictures of alternative means of transportation in France. By that I mean very, very small, weird-looking cars. So here's a dog and there's a cat, and in a minute they're going to meet here in the street. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to instigate anything. I'm just saying that there's a dog walking.
Tino,
Yes, dear.
our audience must come over here and buy this building and
Yeah, this
restore it.
building right here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just looking at the cat under the car, and here's the poor little puppy dog. Hello. Hi, puppies. Hello. Hi, puppies. Hi, puppies. Hi, bye. Hi. There's a little puppy dog here. There's a little puppy dog.
Prenez photo, grosse caserne, hein?
Oui, que
Il
Hi,
faut
hi, hi.
revoir.
There's a little puppy dog.
faut restaurer, hein.
Ah bah oui, il faut
Hi.
restaurer, mais c'est là.
Dommage
Hi.
Et en
All right.
dessous, c'est pareil. Tout ça, c'était des logements.
But what we should buy is this, which is empty, which is the old caserne. And here you see the outside of a little puppy dog. Like puppy dog. Ooh. Let's see. So over the years, clearly they renovated and rebuilt and fixed some of these old buildings. And some of them are original, like this one. And that is, and here you have, what do you have here? I see open doors, but I'm kind of scared if I go in there. So this is the Kassan.
Yes.
And this Kassan looks almost identical to World War I Kassans, doesn't
No,
it?
so the Riviera of
Yeah.
1870s, yeah. Yeah. But as I said, if it works, don't fix it. Don't
I mean,
break it.
for hundreds of years, they've never changed the design.
Yeah.
There's some forts that you guys haven't seen yet because I haven't had time to actually edit and show you. But there's some amazing places we found. They haven't seen Fort the Regret yet. I haven't showed them yet. That's why I was gonna say I was gonna talk about it, but you guys haven't seen it yet. But just look at these. All right, I'm gonna give it a shot. Now and this would be one of the Kassan buildings. All right, I'm gonna see if you guys start losing me. You just you say something. Of course, if you lose me, then you can't say anything. Oh, there's a hallway back here. This is exactly like the World War I forts. All right, there's windows open. This is open. All right, I'm sorry.
Look at the arch, the way.
All right, I'm sorry.
Look at the arch, the way.
Sorry, I had to. I had to get a. I thought I could make it because of the windows. Roger's absolutely right. The arches are so much larger, but the ventilation holes, the design, the Kassan, the hallways behind there, it's all the same. Yeah, well, I'm like I said, I will at some point in time try to find a live way of going into tunnels with you guys. All right, let's stick to the outside.
You throw the wire behind you to an aerial that you leave outside. That would work.
So I'll do the submarine thing. I'll trail a cable.
But modern
Right.
phones don't have plugs for antenna. That's a big.
So you need to stand outside with a hotspot, and then something.
And then the samples of the stones you want.
There's a way of with the technology where we can do this. Here are the stones, and here's the pizza place we ate at. And here's all the locals playing soccer. All right, so well, what was this? This really cool stone. Wanted to show you guys. It's kind of reddish.
Now, the mystery.
Ça, c'est une belle pierre.
What is it? Well, it's not. No.
It's almost a granite, but it's reddish brown.
Reddish brown, yeah, it is. It's got a little metal in it, a little iron.
Ah,
A little.
Yes, it has iron.
All right, well, rest your knees for a minute. I'm gonna gallop up here like a billy goat on the rampart and show you guys the other side of the fort, where there's a football game going on and music and all that stuff. So we're gonna have to just bear with it because here's the other side. And here's the driveway into town. Look at how big this ditch is. You can play soccer on it. This is a ditch that'll do something. But this little dirt mound sitting here in front of the rampart, I don't remember what that's called, and it bugs me. One of you guys know this. There's a small defensive island in front of the rampart. You guys, Jeffrey, are you here? Because I know you know, because I think one of the first things that Jeffrey you left me a comment on was when I got it wrong once. Ah, it's gorgeous. What a gorgeous place.
So if the rock has iron in it, that's what makes it So tough, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know the mix.
Well, I guess we'll find out at some point.
Yes, we need your help, experts.
We need a rock expert, and here's the ventilation for the tunnels running behind
The Kazan,
the behind the Kazan. There's the walkway behind, as you'll see in other places that I have filmed and not yet shown you. But well, we got to have something for these cold winter nights, and that's coming up, and where the world will end, and we'll all sit at home and watch YouTube and Amazon. But so don't worry. When we all die of strange, new, interesting, weird diseases they come up with, then I will keep you entertained to the last.
The
I
next
promise.
disease will be we lose our legs, and then we have to sit down and watch YouTube.
I think the new disease is no, let's not even go there. What the hell is news? Yeah, there's ventilations. You see how the whole concept of how this fort is constructed hasn't changed for hundreds of years. And it's fresh in my mind because I've been running through them lately. You'll see. So, damn it, why can't I remember what... I'm going to read up on my fortress terminology. Anyway, that's the mystery rock. A little metal in it. That some of this looks like it's been constructed from.
One of my sons said, it's the 15-year-old.
But this is just it is a nice little town. French girl. Yeah, you know what? I'm good with that. I would not mind. I would consider that. I would consider dating a French girl. Absolutely. An Italian or Hispanic. I really don't discriminate. I'd like to have a girlfriend before I die of old age, but considering I spend my entire adult life crawling around underground looking at fortresses, well, we all know. That's just... So there's the bridge coming in when you drive in here. And here's... I keep thinking this would have been deeper, but I actually don't think so. And when we go on the other side, I'll show you why I don't think so. Because... It's actually really, this is the main entrance to the fort. There's also an exit over there, as we can now see the car driving through. But this is the main bridge, which is really wide. So I'm guessing there would at some point have been a much higher wall here. And I keep thinking that this would have been a deeper ditch. We have the really large ditch out to the right. But you have these doors. This is not even a covered walk, is it? It's... What is this? What is this? Like I said, I'm just throwing you guys in here, the mayhem with the rest of us, because we just came by and you thought this was really awesome. Couldn't broadcast anything from Hitler's headquarters because there's simply no reception whatsoever. So there's a star fort, and had a bite to eat here. And I just wanted to show you guys. There's a lot of star forts around here, and this is really, really cool. Can't show the tunnels, as we have now proved several times. City. Roger, what's the city we're in? Rocroi. That's also the name of the fort. Well, that makes it really easy. We're quite close to the Belgian. I think we're maybe a kilometer or two from the Belgian border. We've been over that a few times back and forth. Yes, this is gorgeous, and I love they have a little festival. Of course, it also means they're going to be playing music that will now make YouTube panic. Well, look at the stones. Look at the stone. Look at how this is. Look at how this is linked together. This is a very neat little detail. I hadn't completely missed that. Roger, did you see this? Roger, did you see this? The little details of how they laid the stones on the walk. Water runoff there.
Oh yes, to lock them together.
This is very neat. I haven't seen that on a. What is this? This is a.
And you know what's inside them? They've melted lead inside.
Is that what they have here?
Yeah, to hold the stones together. And that goes back to the days of the Romans, when you if you walk through an old Roman fort, the ruin of a fort, you get to the commander's room in the very center of the fort, and he sat, his desk and chair sat above the money box, the money chamber, huh? And they built it of stones like this, with little wedges, not little stones, little wedges, and they poured molten lead into the gaps, so that no one could tunnel in from the side and steal all the soldiers' money. And the commander sat on top of it, of course. That was a big help.
So
This is wonderful. I haven't noticed that.
1,000 years later, they did the same thing.
Yeah,
The Romans had good ideas.
yeah. Well, the French copied their military architecture from the Romans, their citadels and the towers that projected outside. But the Romans used those for artillery,
Yes.
catapults. And in the medieval period, well, they had big stone throwing catapults way inside.
But that's how they found. I think a few years ago, they found a Roman strongbox because they found the lead. Everything had been collapsed and crushed, but the only way they put it together, what the room was because of the lead. That was in England,
Yeah.
of course. Where else would the Romans go when on vacation?
So no, the joint.
Lead is missing. A good idea is a good idea. All right, let's just run through the rampart because, well, I can. I'm still on my second plus month without coffee, and I haven't even had a rock star today, which is sort of making me a little stabby. It's been very long days, and I went to Normandy, went to the beaches, Omaha Beach, and yes, I will be doing something from Normandy, something from D-Day, and that's where the tunnels come up to the ramparts and the gun positions overlooking the ditches. I'm gonna run up there myself. Anyway, as I was telling you, there's a couple of things, especially about the Macy battery. I spent a lot of time there, and Point the Hawk less there because it's less interesting, honestly. So I'm gonna try to break that down with the documents and there was from that area and from the Macy battery. For those of you who haven't heard that story, there's something to come, and I want to try to balance. I want to try to give you a balanced account from there. But Omaha beaches, the D-Day beaches, very disappointing. There's not really anything left to see. Not a single bunker. I mean, I think there's like 42 D-Day museums, granted, but there's very little left of the fighting from that time. You have to go a little further up and down. And honestly, I thought when I was in Normandy, I mean, I've done several movies from Normandy, one way or another, so, you want to see this. But if I were to do a D-Day movie again, which I'm probably never going to do again, I would have to go to Denmark or Norway or somewhere else to film it, because there's nothing left in Normandy that would actually you could use. There's nothing left of that battle in the original place, and I think that's sad. There should have been a few things left behind from that historic battle, But anyway, I'm gonna try to later on give you my take on D-Day. I'm on top of the ramparts. He's the cannon position, the powder room, the tunnel in under here. There's tunnels in under there that goes deeper that I can't show you, of course. Um, yeah, I would like to have spent more time there, but there's not a whole lot I can say about what took place in Normandy during World War II that you have not heard so much about. They're playing 80s music. That's just awesome. That's really cool. It really is cool. Anyway, oh, I'm running out of battery too. Outstanding. But there's a few things about what took place in Normandy that I would like to cover and give you guys my take on for whatever that's worth. But that's gonna, of course, come up as well. And in a few days, I'm going into the underground tunnels under one of Hitler's headquarters, and these are tunnels you have never seen before. And interestingly enough, they were used by Reinhard Gehlen, and they were the first headquarters for Nachrichtendienst, the German intelligence post World War II. That was run by Reinhard Gehlen. We have very little movement from Bergkristall. From Bergkristall up in Austria, very little movement, not a lot of cooperation. It's going to turn into a thing. I think that's going to turn into a thing. And there's some people saying some dumb things up there. And I'm going to have some meeting with some of the Austrian politicians, which I don't like the way this is playing out. We're going to have a look of our own. Well, I'm going up there. I'll be up there in a week or so. I have no idea what day it is anymore. It's just one long day. Anyway, I'm going to sign out. And I'm going to try to jump on something else live for you that's interesting. If I can come up with anything. I got to drive Roger home and get some rest. And we will all see you guys pretty soon. So be safe, be good, be well. Don't behave if you must.